was just going to say, boundaries for yourself. Do you have boundaries for yourself?
Work-wise, none. Work-wise, I find that I take each day as it comes. I basically just go with it, you know, and try my best. That's my motto always. Try your best, and if you're trying your best, then there's nothing more you can do. So I find that work-wise, I have boundaries, and friends and family. And to myself, I put some boundaries with the hobbies. Okay, with the love department, I find that it all depends on people's experience as to where their boundaries lie. Depends with what they've gone through. Some people go through things and it makes them tougher. That was the case for me. Some people go through things and it breaks them. Some people go through things and it breaks them, and then they get tougher. So there's like different scenarios. But I find that I have boundaries, I'm hoping, everywhere. Just with different heights.
So is boundaries the same as limitations?
No. Limitations, there are no limitations. I think you can literally, in all aspects, if you want to reach something in work, you can reach it if you put your mind to it. If you want to have good friends, there's no limit to that. You can have as many friends as you want. If you want to have a good relationship with your family, again, no limits. You set your limits. Now, boundaries sometimes have to be set because they're needed in all aspects, in work, and in family, and in friends, and in love. Boundaries sometimes are there to protect others and ourselves, I think.
Can you give me an example of a boundary like that?
A boundary like that would be, for example, if it was in work, I've had a lot of people that I've worked with in the past that bluntly asked me, you know, where are your factories? How do you do what you do? But in the sense to get my resources, to basically do exactly what I'm doing. There is where you need to set boundaries of where your kindness lies. I have given a lot of people that were in the same industry, let's say my packaging factory, because that doesn't affect me in any sort of way. But being kind to all sometimes isn't being kind to yourself. That's where I had to lay boundaries. And because I didn't love the other person, but because that person loved themselves more than they loved me. They were willing to get what I worked so hard for so many years to build, just for them to build something of their own. That's where boundaries need to lie at work.
So it's like a give and take. There is a certain balance with the give and take, right?
Yeah. So if you see that the other person is around you just to get your resources, to get basically what you're trying so hard to achieve, then you need to set boundaries, not because you don't love that person, but because you need to love yourself more.
And then you give the other person the freedom to explore themselves.
Yeah, and if they're happy with their choice, would I be happy with trying to get the easy way out and work? No, I would not be happy with myself. But that's where you need to be more aware of who you are, what you stand for. That's where self-love comes in all aspects. Let's say with family, boundaries would be you giving all the time. Let's say to a parent, to a sister or brother. You give, and then when you need something, the other person not being there. There needs to be boundaries. There needs to be a give and take. If you need something and you tell a family member of any sort, it might even be a cousin you have a good relationship with, that you want something back, they're not giving it, then you need to stop giving. That's boundaries, again, with self-love. If the other person keeps giving limitlessly, like without any limits, like we said, then you give that back the same, you know? So that's where I see the difference between boundaries and limits. I'm the same in my love life. As long as the other person's here for me, as long as the other person loves me, then I will love them endlessly. But if there's no respect and no boundaries, then you need to start setting boundaries for that.
So it's like, rather than conditional love, it's more standards. Right?
Yeah, it's a bit more of me, for example, as a person, I give unconditional love. But the person needs to give something back. And it's not about expectations or standards. It's more of respect, I think. There needs to be some respect in all aspects and in work as well. I mean, people collaborating together like us today, let's say today that we're having this conversation, it means that we both have equal respect. If you don't have respect in work, friends, family, everywhere, then you can't possibly be. You can't expect. If you can't give. If you can't give, then things are just gonna go wrong eventually.
That's so true.
Yeah.
Because somebody will get depleted sooner or later, right? Yeah. And then when that happens, then there is no more growth or expansion.
Yeah.
There is more survival mode kicking in. And just like, okay,
there's no future. There's just like, am I going to make it through the day?
Yes, exactly.
So it's the same with work. If you don't respect what you do and yourself, then I'm not going to make it through the day. But if you know your worth and you know what you're doing, then you're going to be like, no, I will make it today. Because I respect the people I work with. I respect the people that are around me. Even my sales girl that I have at the store, which is someone that works for me. But even factories, which are people that work with me. I treat everyone equally because we both need each other. So when you know that you need someone, you need to know how to treat someone right. And with respect and care, I believe.
Very, very well put. I think you should write a book about that.
I actually have been thinking about writing a book. I was writing quotes back in the day, like a year ago. But I think from some personal experience, I have wanted to write a book, but I said later on. I think I want to, because I'm still at a young age, I think there's still things that I will be learning, unfortunately.
I'm sure that I can't wait to see.
Yeah, and I thought around the age of 30 to 35, then I can sit down and write about work, and about life, and about how that has made me into who I am.
Wonderful.